Bulls Nation, today I come to you as a happy man, excited, a little bit shocked, and really I woke up a few minutes ago, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm just absolutely, I'm speechless in many ways. The Chicago Bulls has done something that in the end I thought could potentially have happened, but never did I ever think it would happen like this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls signed another player today, and it's a very good player at that. His name is DeMar DeRozan from the San Antonio Spurs. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a good one here, and let's talk about that trade, and let's talk about DeMar DeRozan in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls related video referring to our new player DeMar DeRozan. I'd like you all to meet our new player DeMar DeRozan. Ladies and gentlemen, we acquired DeMar DeRozan from and signed in trade. We'll be talking all about the trade. We'll be talking about every player individually, and we'll be discussing what exactly this means for the Chicago Bulls going forward, what this means to potentially Zach LaVine and everybody else in this video. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts, happiness, if you're a little bit upset, whatever your emotions are about DeMar DeRozan coming to the Chicago Bulls. Let me know in the comments below what you think about DeMar DeRozan and our squad now, ladies and gentlemen, because it looks like we've got a team on our hands. DeMar DeRozan, San Antonio Spurs player, someone I've been talking about for months, but never did it really, I believe in my heart, it would come into fruition. Never did I truly believe DeMar DeRozan would be a Chicago Bull. I'm going to be right up and honest with you. For the months that I've been talking about DeMar DeRozan, it's been minor links, nothing serious. And now it's happened, and it's happened very quickly. Within 2 days of free agency, we have DeMar DeRozan on this team. We've made 3 signings, ladies and gentlemen. We've made Alonzo Ball, starting addition signing. We've made Alex Caruso, a solid bench player signing, and now we've got DeMar DeRozan to make this starting 5 look very insane on paper, and it's beautiful to see. DeMar DeRozan, in terms of his contract, is going to be a 3-year, $85 million contract. Basically means he's going to be making around $28.8 million a year, which is a lot of money considering the fact that he is 31 years old. I'm not going to be totally I can pay attention to that. I can pay attention to the fact that he is getting probably overpaid for many people, but what he brings to this team is important. And I'm going to tell you his season averages now. He played 61 games for the San Antonio Spurs. His points average was 21.6 points, 4.2 rebounds per game, 6.9 assists per game, shooting 49.5% from the field and shooting 25.7% from the three-point line. So we're not going to get a three-point shooter here with DeMar DeRozan, at least not a strongly effective one from the three-point line. I think that's fair to say. He can make a 3 if he's open. More often than not, it's going to be a mid-range or a cutting to the basket type player. He's going to bring some playmaking to this team. Hopefully, we can see that San Antonio Spurs edition of DeMar DeRozan coming into this team and becoming an effective playmaker. That's going to be great to see, having multiple people being able to playmake. You have Lonzo Ball, you have Zach LaVine that can playmake, DeMar DeRozan can playmake, Vooch can playmake out of the post. Very good playmaking and moving team. I would like to think this team should be a very effective scoring team. Against any team in the league, we should be a very effective scoring team because we have so much diversity, so much ability, and so much ways to score from the field. Whether it's a three-point shot, a spot-up shot from Lonzo, some fadeaway mid-ranges from DeMar, from cuts to Zach LaVine, the post moves from Nikola Vucevic. We have diversity in our scoring. That's going to be very fun to watch. And not to mention, this does improve our team. We're going to talk about the trade now. First, we talk about the outgoings, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about some of the players that did leave the Chicago Bulls. First things first, we're going to talk about Al-Farouq Aminu. I'll tell you the trade first. So obviously, the sign and trade, the Bulls acquired DeMar DeRozan. Makes sense. The Chicago Bulls gave up to the San Antonio Spurs Thibs Young, Al-Farouq Aminu, first round pick. I still don't know what year that first round pick is, but we got rid of a first round pick. And that's it, I believe, in terms of the sign and trade. Al-Farouq Aminu is a player that, in my opinion, didn't really get a chance on the Chicago Bulls. I think that's fair to say. His injury really haunted him this year throughout the Magic and the Chicago Bulls. And at the end of the day, we probably had to give up that first-round pick to get rid of Al-Farouq Aminu. I think many people have said that, and I think that is going to be the case. We did give up that first-round pick because we had, obviously, Al-Farouq Aminu on the team. Al-Farouq Aminu, $10 million. That's a very hard contract to get to move away. And but we did it. We did have to sacrifice a first-round pick. Hopefully that could be a first-round pick that can come back later on with more trades in terms of the Chicago Bulls. We'll wait and see. There's very interesting talks about that. We'll be talking more about that in another video. But Al-Farouq Aminu is not really someone I could say I'm truly upset to lose. If he got a chance on this team, I would have been excited to see if he could really turn his career around. He didn't get a chance on this team. So it's hard to say that I'm going to miss him, but again, he did have a short time on the Chicago Bulls, and best of luck with the San Antonio Spurs. That's all I can really say on the situation, and hopefully the San Antonio Spurs can help change that luck in terms of Al-Farouq Aminu, and he can go back to that solid bench player, solid role player, even a potential starter for that San Antonio Spurs team. Who really knows? Thibs Young. That's a tough one to lose, I'm not going to lie. If you're talking about individual players, Thibs Young has had his best season for the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, he is 33 years old. He's only 2 years older than DeRozan. He was on an expiring deal, and knowing Thibs Young's history, there could have been a chance he wasn't going to re-sign again with the Chicago Bulls. We don't really know. I would have liked to believe Thibs Young would have signed, but this is a tough one to lose in my opinion. But you have to look at the difference between DeMar DeRozan and Thibs Young. DeMar DeRozan is a better player. So at the end of the day, we are getting a better player on a longer-term deal than what Thibs Young could be. And this player is an all-star level player here we're talking about with DeMar DeRozan. So Thibs Young, I'm going to miss Thibs Young a lot. In my opinion, he was our sixth man of the year last year. He was our best bench player. He was our most consistent player. And even Zach LaVine said it himself, he was the second MVP on this team for the entirety of the season. It's going to be very tough to see Thibs Young leave this team. However, again, look at the sacrifice, look at the player that we're getting in return. I guess many people would be very happy to see DeMar DeRozan come into this team over Thibs Young leaving. So that's kind of the balance there. But I'm not going to lie, that does hurt. And the first round pick hurts me as well. But we've got to be honest here. We have avenues to get first round picks. Many people are saying we've sold our future. That is far from the truth, because we have players that are worth first round picks on this team still that we don't know the future of. So getting rid of a first round pick, all of a sudden maybe Larry Markkanen is in a sign and trade for a first round pick, then we have our first round picks back, ladies and gentlemen. It's as simple as that. We have not traded away our future at all. It's far from that. Yes, we got rid of 2 first round picks for Nikola Vucevic. One of those picks has already been given, and we got Ayo Dosunmu as a second rounder, and I think many people would have taken that any day of the week. We could easily, in my opinion, get a first round pick for Larry Markkanen if we wanted to do a sign and trade for Larry Markkanen. We'll talk more about that in another video, but the first round pick does hurt at this point, but I'd like to think we'd probably get a first rounder back sometime during this free agency period, and all of a sudden it's a moot point. It doesn't really matter because we will probably get a first rounder back. Maybe even a better one, arguably. So we'll wait and see on that one. That would be very interesting to see if we can get a first rounder coming in for the next 3 years or so. We still have a lot to talk about for that first round pick. DeMar DeRozan, I've said everything I need to say about DeMar DeRozan. All-star level player, fantastic playmaker for the San Antonio Spurs. I would think he'd become a little bit more of a scoring option more than a playmaker on this team, considering we have Lonzo, we have Zach, we also have some bench players like Alex Caruso, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu. I don't think DeMar DeRozan is going to average 7 assists on this team. He can on certain nights. I think most nights it will be more closer to 5 assists, maybe around 4 assists per game for DeMar DeRozan on this team. He had to play a very unique style with the San Antonio Spurs, a style that could work on the Bulls as well, but I don't see him averaging 7 assists. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but he should be averaging more assists than what his career averages is in total. His career averages in total is 3.8 assists. I think he should be getting more than that on this team. Defensive-wise, we have a balance defensively now. DeMar DeRozan isn't the best defender of all time. We all know that. But Lonzo Ball is a very good defender. Patrick Williams in the starting lineup is a pretty decent defender. We've got balance there. Obviously, we have Alex Caruso. We have Troy Brown Jr. We have defense on the bench as well. This is a beautiful trade in my opinion. The actual trade itself, let's talk about that. How we did not give Larry Marketing in this trade, I have no idea. I'm surprised to see that we gave away two veteran players, two players on expiring contracts. I guess the San Antonio Spurs just wanted to offload DeMar DeRozan. And the fact that we were willing to pay the amount that we paid for DeMar DeRozan kind of just made this very difficult for the San Antonio Spurs to maneuver, to try and get a player like Larry Marketing, or maybe even get other players on this team. Kobe White was mentioned for a few hours there as well. It's probably very difficult for them to do that. So they probably just said, we'll take the expiring contracts, we'll take your pick, we'll probably start adding more depth into this team and more young players and become a little bit younger. That's probably what the Spurs were thinking. And Thibs Young and Al-Farouq Aminu are just 1 year loans in many ways. And then they can go off and do their own thing again. So yeah, we did very well here. Again, another trade where I think we truly did well, and it's not over. We still have talks about Larry Marketing potentially being a sign and trade option. If Larry Marketing stays on this team, I'd be stunned. We don't exactly have cap space now to sign Larry Marketing on a long-term deal. If we sign Larry Marketing, it's going to be on his qualifying offer. Then he's an unrestricted free agent next year. I'd rather see a sign and trade happen for Larry Marketing now to get something back, hopefully a first rounder, over letting him go in unrestricted free agency years down the line. I don't really want to see that happen for the Chicago Bulls. And in terms of Zach LaVine's, I guess, extension, the Chicago Bulls have been in communication for Zach LaVine pretty much the entire process, in my opinion, which makes this a lot more satisfying. The fact that Zach LaVine is agreeing to some of these things before, I guess, we all know that he has. I truly believe he would have known about DeMar DeRozan coming before DeMar DeRozan actually came. He would have known about Lonzo Ball coming before Lonzo Ball came. These are things that, at the end of the day, the communication process for his extension, he must know now that he's not going to get his extension this year. It's very difficult for that to happen. He's going to get his extension next year. And he's communicating with the Chicago Bulls and signifying that that could be okay for him. He will be willing to take the $20 million this year and get his max or get his extension next year. And it is possible to do. We will go over the cap to get Zach LaVine on this team next season. I don't see an issue with this at the moment. And of course, hindsight, a years down the line, maybe this is a big issue. But if not, this is a good thing to see. I'm very excited to see what will happen. Our starting lineup is going to be Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. I think what we need now, I think one of the only pieces that we need now, we need a backup center, and we probably do need another power forward if we don't want Patrick Williams to play there. I don't know. At the end of the day, this is something that the Bulls will figure out later on. I'm just super excited about this deal right now. We've got a serious team on our hands. I expect us to make the playoffs now. With Lonzo Ball, we should make the playoffs. Now I expect it from us. I expect us to compete with some of the better teams in the East. I expect us to compete, not necessarily win. Don't get me wrong. At this point, I expect us to compete with Philly, have close games, maybe even take a game or two in the regular season. And if we meet in the playoffs, I don't expect to get swept. Those kind of things. I expect us to play very well against teams like Boston. I expect us to play very well against teams like Milwaukee, the NBA champions, and hold our own, not just instantly think it's going to be a loss. We have that team now that is very, very good. And we don't know how good it can be. Obviously, there could be more to come that makes this team even better. But we have a serious squad on our hands. This is the best squad I believe we've had since probably Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, Carlos Boozer, Luol Deng. That squad. This is probably the best squad we've had since then. Jimmy Butler didn't have a good squad around him. This is arguably the best squad we've had for quite some time on the Chicago Bulls. And I'm very excited. I'm very keen to see what can be made of this. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here, ladies and gentlemen. I've gone a little bit overboard. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll be talking more about Zach LaVine. I'll be talking more about Larry Marketing in another video. And if any news does pop up throughout the day, eventually I will make a video on it as well. I still think we need a backup center. That's obviously the key here. A backup center is still a big part of this team, and hopefully we can find a way to do that. Minimum contract, maybe a little bit overboard. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure yet, but a backup center I think is an essential part of this team to really make us a complete team and go and have a really good shot at competing in the East this year. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care. and peace.